Well, hello. I hope you all are having a super duper fantastic day out there today. Hey, this conversation that we're going to have is all about go for the gold. Put that inside of the chat. Hold on, I'm going to give you a background on what I'm talking about, but just go ahead, put it in the chat. Sherilyn, I see you done came up inside the StreamYard room. That's right, she waving. But look, all of you guys out there on social media, whichever platform you're on, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, on the personal page, the business page, or inside of the private group, I want to say hello, and hopefully you're having a super duper fantastic day. Okay, my sister, here we go. Hey, I'm live at 5. 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 Come on inside the room. Thank you, Sissy, for the red dress. Thank you so much for sharing as well. Always looking out. Share. Absolutely. Sharing is definitely caring. So look, go for the goal. But before we get into this conversation, I definitely first want to say thank you guys for showing up for my anniversary celebration. It was amazing. Thank you to all of the powerful speakers who came by, dropped off their nuggets. They dropped off their gold for you, right? Quaya Cook, the money cook, she started off. Then I came in, followed up behind her. Then we had Janelle Pulley, who talked about legacy matters. Then we had Pamela Hempstead, who came up and taught us how to love ourselves the right way, right? And she dropped those 3 L's on us. And then I came up at the end giving you the conversation about becoming the change. Put it in the chat, becoming the change. So listen, this is all a part of the conversations that we have continuously about growing yourself. Thank you so much, Sissy, for wishing me and a happy anniversary again. Yes, I'm so excited. We are into year 5. Let's go. Team Titans. Let's go change the world. Let's take it on, right? And when we're having this conversation, though, about go for the gold, it's all about our position and where we stand in life and how we look at different situations that we come across in life. So every day, every situation that you're faced, you know that you're standing someplace. Yes, put it in the chat if you know that you're standing someplace. And if you don't know what I mean, where you're standing someplace, then let me explain. Every time you walk into a room, enter into a conversation on phone, on screen, face to face, I want you to get there's a place that you're already standing, meaning the person that you are speaking to, you're already standing in a place of how you listen to them, right? So they already occur for you in a certain way. What do I mean by that? Okay, so let me say this. So for those of you who come and visit here on Wednesday, y'all listen for me, as that's the day that I go hard in the paint. Yes, do you get that? So when you come on Wednesday, you're already standing in a place. Okay, I know today is Wednesday. Deneen coming hard today. So if, in fact, you came on Wednesday and came with nothing, like if you were just looking for the gold, right? Instead of standing in a place, Deneen going hard today, can you get that you would hear what I'm saying differently? Put it in the chat. Do you get that you would hear what I'm saying differently? Right? It's just like if you're talking to someone. Last example, hopefully you guys are getting this. Okay, Sherilyn said yes, and LaShawn said yes. I know what you mean when you're saying you're standing from a place. Okay, so the question that I have for you is, do you think that it would be beneficial if you stood from a place all the time where you was going for the gold? Yes or no? And do you get what I mean when I say going for the gold? And if you do, drop that in there, because I want to hear where you're coming from. See, standing in a place because you meet people and you already know how they are and how you're dealing with the person, and based on your mindset, and you're listening. Absolutely right. So you come into already standing from a particular place on how you already know them and how you're going to deal with them and what you're going to say and what they're going to say and all these things. So you don't have a clean slate or a space to stand from that could be anything different than where you're standing already. Do you get that? So I want you to decide, moving forward from all conversations, interactions, thought processes, phone calls, before you get there, I want you to start deciding where you're standing and where you're listening from. Does that make sense? So let me give you this acronym when I say go for the goal. Number one, I want you to look for the good in people. Listen for the good, right? Regardless of what the conversation is that you're going to, like, think about all those situations that I would come in and tell y'all that I was having with Macy's about trying to get my money ran back because they done overpriced the bag or something happened and there was some change, right? When you're having conversations with people, you go into it looking for something or expecting some outcome, right? Other than that, what would be the point of having a conversation, right? You're having a conversation to get a result or some type of outcome. And it doesn't mean that it's bad. That's what we're doing all the time. That's the point of it. Even if you're calling just to cheer people up or to make them feel good, right? So I want you to look for the good. Look for the good and listen for the good, right? In all situations that you're entering into. For the O, be optimistic. Believe before you get there that the conversation is going to work out, not just for you, but for them too. So, how often do you enter into conversations being optimistic that everybody's going to win? And not just your side, and not just you, and not just your point of view, and not trying to get them to understand where you're coming from. Remember, we had that conversation last week about just apologize. Put it in the chat. Just apologize. Just apologize, right? You're supposed to be seeking to understand instead of being understood. So don't try to go into no conversations trying to get somebody told and get them to understand where you're coming from. Right? You're standing for a place where you want to receive gold. And when you receive gold, it costs way more than being right. It's way more valuable than making someone else feel wrong or dominate in the situation. Do you understand that? Do you get, this was good. And I learned this throughout my leadership training program for the 7 to 8 months that I was in it. Do you get that silence, like being silent or not responding? Do you get that's a form of domination? Do y'all know that? See, y'all, sometimes y'all think silence is golden. Silence is golden because it puts you in a position, and normally in a position of power or dominance. Because when people don't know where you're coming from, it's hard for them to take the next swing. Do you get it? So silence is a very powerful tool, but it's a way to dominate. Do y'all agree? Or y'all think silence is being Christ-like? Because silent ain't being Christ-like. I just want you to know that. Being silent is being in the place of dominance or power. Absolutely. Do you think your silence, do you play this game? And if you do you think it's of Christ? Is that your thought process? Are you doing it because I just want to keep the peace? See, normally when you're in a conversation with someone and they're looking for an answer and you become silent and don't respond, what happens to them? When you're in the conversation and you don't say nothing and the person talking to you and you silent, sometimes, no, it is not a Christ. No, absolutely it's not a Christ. I just want to see like where we are, where are we standing now when we have these conversations and we do the things that we do. I want you to get like you've been found out. Like this is to be silent. That you said they retreat. Okay. I know for me, if I'm having a conversation with somebody and they trying to silence me out and not responding, you know what happened? 9 times out of 10, I get upset. I get even more upset than I was before. Right? So that's a form of dominance. So I want you to go into these places, these situations in life, the ones that you create and the ones that you encounter being optimistic. Number 3, can we all just love? Can you just love on people? Can you just represent love? Right? Because love covers what? A multitude of sins. Just can you just love? Can you just love? Yeah, that too. She said upset. Absolutely. Just love. So when you're entering into these conversations and these interactions with people, can you go into it knowing, okay, I'm going to show love in this conversation. I don't know what it is that they want to talk to me about. I don't know what they're going through. I don't know what type of conversations they had. Yeah, live, love, and be happy. Amen. Yeah. But see, it's something that you have to intentionally do. Because see, here's the thing. When you're clear on where you are and you go into a situation already knowing where you're standing, don't you think it would be pretty hard for someone to move you or to sway you into a different place? If you already knew, hey, I'm going into this situation today, this ministry, this rehearsal, this conversation, looking already for the gold, standing for gold. That's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for the good in people. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to love on everybody that I come in contact with. And then the D is just be determined. Be determined that this is where you're going to stand, because you already know somebody, the devil going to be riding somebody that day, right? Somebody going to try to make you mad and upset you and get you off course. But you got to be determined that when you have already made a choice on who to be in any situation, that you don't allow people to move you, right? Not easily swayed, not easily moved from this to that. Because, sometimes people get your triggers, they know your triggers, and then they start pressing buttons. But you want to get to a point where you flatten all your buttons. What do you mean by that? That people can't even see them. They don't even know where they are. Because a lot of us come with the buttons pop up. So all they got to do is what? Push it. But if you come into places looking for gold, understanding that you're looking for the good in people, I'm going to be optimistic, I'm going to get love, and I'm going to be determined to stand in this place that I've decided without being altered, without being moved, without being upset, without allowing people to push triggers. Because my triggers ain't even red. They blend in. You can't even see them. They down, they flat. They in my skin. They in my skin. And even if you brush across them, my job is to continue to see the gold. Because a lot of people don't know what upsets you until you tell them that you're upset about something. And then you may, depending on who they are, give them ammunition. But why not just check yourself before you enter into any place to have your buttons already pressed down? Like, I'm not going to let nobody upset me. I'm not going to worry about what people are saying or how they look at me or the comments that they make, or even if they offend me. Guess what? I'm just going to show them love. Or I'm going to be optimistic that, you know what? Maybe they having a bad day. Maybe I could be that person that turns their day around, right? And I think that it's okay too. And let me say this. By asking questions sometimes to be clear that a person actually meant what they said the way that you took it. And we'll talk about this week, about being responsible for your conversation and how things land with people. I think it would be great for us to revisit that, because sometimes we don't take responsibility on how things land over there with other people, but it makes all the difference. See, when you get how powerful your words are, you choose them more carefully in all situations, right? I'm going to say this and then I'm going to let it be, right? I was becoming emotional this last week because my spiritual dad had a stroke. And some of you guys may know that. And I talked to him on the phone, and, I got emotional when I got off. And I called someone, I was just calling somebody just to help, listen to me. Because, of course, when I was on the phone with him, I couldn't cry with him, right? I had to cry with somebody else that wasn't him, because I didn't want to bring him down. I didn't want him to even know that I was crying. And hopefully he don't see this video, but sometimes I know he's watching. And I was talking to the person, and they said something that other people probably would have been offended by what they said, but I couldn't stop laughing. And the reason why I couldn't stop laughing was because, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. And I'm glad that you said it to me, and I'm glad nobody else heard you but me, right? And they didn't mean any harm by what they said. Like, the way that I received it totally was not what they said, what they meant by what they said. But after I told them how it was received, they totally got that. Like, wow, okay, I see how that could have been taken that way. And this is what I want you to get and be aware of as you're walking through this day, as you're walking through this life, as you're walking through this week. I want you to go for the goal. And everything that you do, you're always looking for good. You're going to be optimistic. You're going to show love, and you're going to be determined to stand there for the week. And then I want to hear how your week goes. How does that alter, that viewpoint, makes a difference in your life and the conversations that you have? But as a matter of fact, what I want you to do, write GOLD as an acronym, right? And if you can write it out, if you want to, do the good. And I want you to put it someplace where you can see it. Put it in your dashboard, in your car, have it on your mirror before you leave the house. I think it should be with you though. Like something that, put it on something that you could keep with you to keep it present in your life as you're moving this week. And I want you to be mindful. She said, I'm up for the challenge. Good. Because I want to see if it prevents all these breakdowns and upsets and conversations that you have that ain't even probably as bad as you think. It's only because you're standing in a place already where you're listening to someone a certain way. So before they even get there to you, you've already decided how the conversation is going to go, how you're probably going to respond, where they're standing, where you're standing. Go ahead and create something new this week for all the conversation and the people that you interact with. And then I want to know how it goes. Okay. I know LaShawn says she up for the challenge. So we'll have a conversation this week by the end of the week, LaShawn. And I want to see how it went from you standing in that place. Okay. All right. Look, always happy to serve you. Go for the goal. Put it in the chat. Go for the goal. Go for the goal. Thank you again for coming to the anniversary celebration. Look, the next Becoming the Change program is coming up. You can get in where you fit in. It starts in August, and then we're together all the way until December. 12 sessions, right? So if you're thinking about it, if you know that it could help you move in towards your goals. Like some of y'all had some goals that y'all had in the first Becoming the Change program. I don't know where y'all at. The class ended and it ain't really been no checking in. So for some of y'all need to check in. Okay, so when's your birthday month? My birthday month. Is it in August? I don't know who that is. I can't see your name. Are you going to come and join us in Becoming the Change? I don't know if you heard about it, but if not, let me go ahead and drop this inside of here so you can take a look and see if it be something that you'll be interested in and come in to join us. Whoever birthday month, what's the birthday month? Is it in August? That was, I guess, my question that I was asking. Is your birthday month in August? Let me see. Missy, hey, Missy, you coming back? So look, always looking forward to serving you. Look, you guys, look for the goal, go for the goal, listen to those conversations, stand from a place where you can hear people newly and make sure that you decide. She said, my birthday is in August. Got it. All right. Are you having a celebration? Let me know. Talk to me. I want to know what you're doing, even if it's virtual. Always looking forward to serving you. Go for the goal, the good in people, be optimistic, show love, and be determined to not allow anything to deter you for what it is that you set your mind to. I look forward to serving you. I'm live at 5, y'all, and I see you guys on Wednesday. Hey, I'm live.